Hello, everybody. I'm going to continue our lessons in second grade Go Math textbook. Today, we're working on lesson 2.9. We're on page 89 of the second grade Go Math textbook. And our lesson today is counting on and counting back by 10 and 100. All right, and so the essential question that you should be able to explain to another student or your parents is how do you use place value to find 10 more, 10 less, 100 more, or 100 less than a three-digit number. All right, so listen to this scenario, and then you can pause the video to fill in the situation that I give you. All right, so there are 342 girls at center school. Draw a quick picture for 342. There are 352 boys at the school. Draw a quick picture for 352. Okay, so what did you come up with? So 300 342 girls. $352 boys. Okay, so you notice that the hundreds are the same. We notice that the tens are slightly different, right? Here we have 4 tens, here we have 5 tens. So we would say the boys have one more 10 than the girls. The ones was the same. So the only difference between these two numbers is a value of 10. Okay. All right, let's look at page 90. So we can show 10 less or 10 more than a number by changing the digit in the tens place. So let's look at this number. 10 less than 264. So we can draw a quick picture. 200, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens and 4 ones. So that's 264. But we have to show 10 less. Well, that means taking away one of the 10 rods, right? So put a box around it and cross it out. So now what are we left with? Well, we're left with 200s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tens, and that makes sense. 6 take away 1 10 is 5 tens, and 4 ones. So 10 less than 264 is just 254. All we're doing is subtracting 1 from the tens place. 10 more than 264. So again, we have our 264, but we have to add an extra 10 rod, right? One extra 10. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tens. So 274. So 10 more than 264. 6 tens plus one more 10, 7 tens, 274. Okay, we can show 100 less or 100 more than a number by changing the digit in the hundreds place. So again, we still have 264. So we still have our model of 200s, 6 tens, and 4 ones. But we want 100 less than 264. So that means we have to cross out one of the hundreds. Well, if you cross out one of the hundreds, we're only left with 100. So 164, which makes sense. 200, take away 100 is 100. 100 more than 264. We have our 264, but we have to add an extra 100. So 200 plus another 100 is 300. All right, simple as that. Okay, so 10 more than 648. All right, so I drew a quick picture there. Okay, many of you probably already can can just do that in your head, but I just wanted to show you 10 more than 648. So we have 648 and we have to add an extra 10. All right. I'm going to go ahead and make it like a rectangle in a sense here to show that I'm adding the 10. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tens. So we have 658. 100 less than 513. Okay, 500's 110, 3 ones, right? 500, 110, 3 ones. 100 less. So we're going to cross that out. Less means take away. So 500, now we have 1, 2, 3, 413. And 500, take away 100 is 4, right? 100 more than 329. So we have our 300, 2 tens, and 9 ones. We have 100 more. Okay, that means we have to add another 100. So I'm going to put a little dashed 100 box. So now we don't have 300, we have 429. 300 plus 100 is 400. 10 less than 827. All right, so I've shown 827, and we're going to have 10 less. Well, that means cross off one of the tens. So now we have 800, 110, and 7 ones. 817. Let's look at page 91. 10 more than 471. 10 more than 471. Okay, so there's our quick picture of 471. We want 10 more than that. So that means adding an extra 100. So now we have 481 because now we have 8 tens, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus the extra one. So if we were showing this mathematically, this would be our addition problem. Our ones place doesn't change. We're adding 1 10 to the 70. 70 plus 10 is 80. And we're not adding anything to the hundreds. We're not changing the hundreds. The only thing we changed was the 1 10 place. 10 less than 143. Okay, 10 less means we're going to take away one of the tens. So instead of 4 tens, I have 3 tens. And mathematically, as a written problem, it would be 143 minus 10. We're not taking anything away from the 1, so we're still with 3. We had 4 tens. We're taking away one of the tens, so we have 3 tens left, 133. 100 more than 555. Okay, 100 more. All right. So have 100, add 100. Now we have 655. And we didn't change the tens or the ones, right? So we were still with 55, and all we did was add 100 to the 500. So 655. 100 less than 757. Okay, so we have 757, and we have to have 100 less. So we're going to cross out one of the hundreds, and what does that leave you? That leaves you 657. If I was to write that out as a math problem, that's what it would look like. We're not changing the tens and the ones, and so we're just taking 100 away from 700. So 600. 100 more than 900. All right, there's 900, and we have 100 more. Okay, so now we have 10 hundreds. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. Right? And so that would be 900 plus 100. We didn't change the tens or the ones, and we just added 1 to the hundreds, to the 900s. So 900 plus 100 is 1000 or 1,000. 10 less than 689. Okay, so there's your quick picture of 689, and we have to take away 10. 10 less. Cross out one of the 10 bars, 10 rods. So instead of 8 tens, we now have 7 tens. And we'd wind up with 679. 100 less than 712. Or 712, 100 less. Cross off one of the hundreds. So now instead of 700, you have 600. If we're not taking away anything from the tens and the ones, that means we're not changing the tens and the ones, and we're just taking 100 away from 700. 10 less than 254. Ten less. So cross off one of the tens. So instead of 5 tens, you have 4 tens. Okay. We didn't change the ones. We did take away 1 10 from 5 tens. So now we have 4 tens. And we have still 200. 10 more than 986. All right, 986, and we have to add 10 more. So I'm going to put a dashed line. So now instead of 8 tens, I have 9 tens. So 996. And 10 means we didn't change the ones. We did add one more 10 to the 8 tens, so we have 9 tens. And we didn't change the hundreds, so 996. 14, 100 less than 392. Okay, 392, 100 less. So you have 292. Again, the only thing we're changing is taking 100 away from 300. All right, 15. Thinking smarter. Rick has 10 more crayons than Lori. Lori has 136 crayons. Tom has 10 fewer crayons than Rick. How many crayons does each child have? All right, so when you get a word problem, we want to underline the question. And we're going to circle the important information. So Rick has 10 more crayons. Lori has 136. I'm going to go ahead and write in Lori's. Okay. They told us she has 136. And Tom has 10 fewer crayons than Rick. All right, 10. Rick has 10 more crayons than Lori. So she has 136. He has 10 more crayons. That means add a 10. All right, so Rick has 146. 136 plus 10. Right? Okay, so all we did was say Rick has 10 more. Tom has 10 fewer than Rick. All right, well, this is Rick's, right? Rick has 146. Tom has 10 fewer. So if we cross off the 10 extra that Rick had, we're back to what Lori had. So Tom has 136. All right, let's look at page 92. Number 16. Juan's book has 248 pages. This is 10 more pages than there are in Kevin's book. How many pages are in Kevin's book? All right, so first we're going to find out what Kevin has. Juan, we know, has 248. All right, so there's our 248. This is 10 more than there are in Kevin's book. So you might get confused and say, oh, I have to add a 10 to Juan's. But that would mean Kevin has more pages. And that's not true because it's saying Juan's book has 10 more pages than Kevin's. So this can also be read as 10 less than Juan's book. Kevin's book has 10 less than Juan's book. So let's take away one of the 10s. So Kevin's book has 238 pages. So 248 minus 10. 17. There are 217 pictures in Tina's book. There are 100 fewer pictures in Mark's book. How many pictures are in Mark's book? 100 fewer in Mark's, and Tina has 217. All right, so we have our 217, and Mark's book has 100 fewer pictures. So let's take away one of the hundreds. 100 fewer is the same as saying 100 less. So his has 117 pictures. Okay, 200 take away 100 is 117. All right, use the clues to answer the question. Sean counts 213 cars. Maria counts 100 fewer cars than Sean. Jaden counts 10 more cars than Maria. How many cars does Jaden count? Okay, well, let's start with what we know. We know that Sean has 213 cars. Okay, there's 200, 110, and 3 ones. Now, Maria has 100 fewer cars. Okay. So if Maria has 100 fewer cars, that would be like crossing out this 100, right? So she has 113 cars. And now Jaden has 10 more cars than Maria. That means that we're going to add, she's only got 110 here, so we're going to have 2 10s for Jaden. So he has 123 cars. So let's see if we can do that as a math problem. So we know that we started with 213. Maria counted 100 less, so she counted 113. And then Jaden counted 10 more. So we'd have to add 10 to Maria, and we'd get 123. All right, finally, Rico has 235 stickers. Gabby has 100 more than Rico, and Thomas has 10 fewer. Write the number of stickers each child has. Okay, well, Rico's the easiest. He has 235. Gabby has 100 more stickers. Okay, so that was Rico's problem. Gabby has 100 more. So we have to add 100. So she has 335. And Thomas has 10 fewer than Gabby. So let's draw Gabby's. She has 335. He has 10 fewer. So we're going to cross off 110. And so Thomas has 325. So if I was doing this as a math problem, just using addition, I would say that's Gabby's. And hers is 335 because 235 plus 100 is 335. And Thomas, 10 fewer means take away. So 335 minus 10. 335 minus 10 would give us 325 for Thomas. Okay. All right. So that's it for our instruction on lesson 2.9. So until our next lesson, I will see you soon.